Will the Cowboys make a trade? 1 for yes, 0 for no, about a month to go until the NFL trade deadline. Get those predictions in, 1 or 0. I want to begin with the Jeffery Simmons stuff. This has been a popular talking point for a bunch of different Cowboys content creators out there. Those rumors are back. They were kind of here around the NFL draft as well. Should the Cowboys have interest? We'll discuss. I think that the real driver of the latest rumors was from Tommy R. Callahan. I'm not familiar with his work, but this got a lot of buzz on social media. It says, per source, the Titans could trade Jeffery Simmons in 2025, taking a $31.9 million cap hit in 2025 by accelerating $14.4 in bonus money to clear the books in 26-27. They expect something like a second and third round pick in return based on the 2 firsts for Parsons. There are red flags on this report. And in general, those pop up from like, I go, hey, do you have good sourcing, or are you just making stuff up when you do per source and mention the money involved and the money's wrong? The money is not correct in that tweet. That is not what the Tennessee Titans would actually owe. It's simply inaccurate. And I'll break down what this actually sorts out to here. But the Jeffery Simmons contract right now is $22.77 million on the Titans cap. Now, they would actually save $17.97 if they traded him. Now, of note, that is based on the prorated figure, so it'd actually be about $4 million less in savings because they've already paid him for 4 games played. But that's just not accurate. That $31 million dead money, that's if they cut him. The trade dead money is really about $15 million. It's not actually that number. It's about half of what had been reported. That's why I don't always trust these things. The new team would owe the base salary and some per-game roster bonus stuff. It's about the $17.97. Again, you only pay him for the games left, so let's just call it 13, 12, whatever it is by the time they trade him. The cap hit if the Cowboys or a different team were to trade for Simmons is $20.67 million next year and $23.5 million in 2027, but none of that money is guaranteed. The cool part about Jeffery Simmons is he's kind of back to his old form a little bit. He's been really good this year. 5 TFLs, 2 sacks, stuck on a really bad Titans team that certainly feels like they are on the verge of blowing it up and having some rebuilding and some coaching staff replacements. He looks a little bit more like the 2022, 2023 guy from a sack production perspective. The run-stopping guy has always been pretty good. He was off to a great start in 23 before he got hurt. So there's a lot to like about Jeffery Simmons. The money and other stuff are a factor here. So I've got more thoughts to come. Would you trade for Jeffery Simmons if you were the Cowboys? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know at the pinned comment of today's show. I do think Jeffery Simmons as a general NFL trade candidate is pretty reasonable, despite the report having the wrong money involved. The Titans are bad, and they don't show any signs of getting better. However, specifically for the Cowboys, I don't think adding a third expensive interior defensive tackle is actually good roster management. I like the player a lot. This does not have anything to do with Jeffery Simmons, but the fit isn't right now. I don't want to trade assets and spend a bunch of my cap for a guy that's going to play 40% of the snaps, or then I'm not getting good investment out of Kenny Clark or Osa Odigizua. If I want to trade, I want to help other spots of need. This would have been a very different convo if they didn't have Kenny Clark or they didn't pay Osa Odigizua. I don't think the defensive tackle room is where the Cowboys need to be investing right now. Because you're already wanting to play Osa and Kenny Clark a decent amount. So I don't see how adding Jeffery Simmons and in some way putting a limit on how much you can actually play all of those 3 guys when I'm not getting any real pressure from my edge rusher group is a good idea. If you can get an edge of Simmons' caliber, different conversation. But Simmons himself, I'm just not as intrigued. Today's show is made possible by PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every single day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this football season on PrizePicks, where it is good to be right. You can follow other PrizePick players directly on the app and copy their lineups in one simple click. Whether it's a friend, celebrity partner, or someone whose picks you like, hit that follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the only app that offers stacks, so you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. So if you want to go with Josh Allen passing yards, rush yards, touchdowns, more than on all 3, that's fine. You can pick them all in the same lineup, only on PrizePicks. Not just football. Baseball PrizePicks lineups are available as we get into October, and more people in general start to care a little bit more about baseball. My guy Jack Lauderay is on this one for the Yankees-Red Sox matchup. Go download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Links in the comments section and the description of today's show. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Ian Rappaport, Sunday morning, offering some very intriguing trade possibilities there. Says, with Devin Witherspoon returning on Thursday, teams are monitoring Pro Bowl cornerback Riq Woolen as a possible trade target by the deadline. Sources tell the insiders Woolen's playing time has diminished, and in a contract year, teams believe he could be available. And I do wonder if Seattle was the group who leaked this one to Ian Rappaport. And I do think a trade is extremely possible here. Woolen has kind of lost some playing time. I talked to our Seahawks guy, Will Ortner, and Josh Jobe is impressed. And Darion Kendrick has somehow fit the Seahawks secondary in a way that I don't think many people really expected. He hasn't been as good this year. The 2020 rookie revelation with 6 interceptions hasn't quite been the same. And this one does intrigue me, actually, kind of a good amount. I think he's a real chance he's available, and that always makes me intrigued here. There are some pros and cons I want to get into, though, on Riq Woolen's side. So, would you trade for him? T for trade, P for pass. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Would you trade for Tariq Woolen? Some pros for the Cowboys pursuing a trade for Riq Woolen. A, corner's a need. You haven't gotten good cornerback play consistently, period. Given what you have, he's probably an upgrade. I don't think there's going to be too much pushback on that. I also know this is the Cowboys type at corner. They love long-armed guys. Riq Woolen is 6'4", 205, ran a 4.26, and has 33-plus inch arms. I was kind of shocked the Cowboys didn't take him. Is that, maybe there was some medical stuff? I don't know. That is right up the Cowboys' alley. The downside, you are buying low, and maybe there's some concern you're buying too low. But maybe more importantly, if you believe in him, then what's the 2026 fit? You've just paid DaRon Bland. Are you going to pay another corner big-time money? I'm not so sure Dallas would. And if he's just a rental, well, is this team in the position to be doing rentals for anything outside of a day 3 draft pick, a mid to late day 3 pick? And shouldn't he cost more than that, in theory? Also, is he a scheme fit? I think Woolen's a lot better in man coverage, where he can use his length and athletic ability. There's some cover 3 stuff too, but hasn't been the greatest in zone necessarily, and your DC wants to run zone, so you better make sure you're on the same page, because that hasn't been the case for a lot of the Cowboys' moves in terms of the defense with the fit from the front office and the coaching staff. We got more Cowboys videos for you each and every single day right here on the channel. Make sure you guys are subscribed and do not miss out on anything. Pro Football Network listed Cam Jordan as a potential trade fit for the Dallas Cowboys, and this is another one that I think is at least worth having a conversation on, some pros and cons on that front. They mentioned 3 teams. The Niners, who are going to every single edge because they're actually 3-1 and they're contenders trying to win games and they need an edge pretty badly. The Cowboys and the Colts, not sure Indy's going to be a buyer, but whatever. The contract, unlike some other players, is super cheap for the Cowboys. He's on the vet minimum base salary-wise. That's the Saints don't say very much with a trade, but they're bad, so they might just take whatever they can get and let Cam Jordan go, ring chase. Not sure ring chasing is the spot to come for Dallas. That's probably an issue, but he's cheap. The issue is he's not the same guy he was in his prime. I'm not saying he's bad, but if you get 2024, 2023 production, we're probably still complaining about the same lack of sacks. Like, big household name. He's likely a rental. He's cheap if the Saints will deal him for a day 3 pick or something. And this a little bit, though, kind of feels like we're talking more about the name and not the peak version of the player. But you're desperate at edge, so we can have conversations on all of them. So name a player who you want to trade for. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. We've gone all defense, we got to one offensive name, but let me know in the comments section of today's show. Bleacher Report said the Cowboys should consider trading for Xavier Legette, and their projected trade value for him was a conditional 2023 pick. Now, they mentioned the Browns too. The Cowboys don't have a 3rd-round pick. So, you can get to it with 4th and others, but, whatever. I don't understand this at all. I don't get it. Why would you go trade for a wide receiver? And this was done before the Week 4 game, whatever. But come on. Lamb is going to miss a couple games at most. Pickens, you already traded for. You're going to get Jonathan Mingo back. Legette hasn't been good. I liked him more than Mingo coming out, but he hasn't been good yet. 505 yards in 18 career games, 4 touchdowns, 8 drops. You get more drops and touchdowns? Red flag alert. Shoot! I kind of liked what I saw from Ryan Flanoy last night, or Sunday night. Tolbert did something big in a big moment again. Turpin's more fun. I don't understand the go trade for a wide receiver. Lamb's going to be back soon. I don't think it's a rational trade idea at all for the Cowboys outside of Jerry Jones going, ooh, shiny wide receiver. No, stop it.